Good afternoon, everybody. We are live, coming to you from Acumen Stadium here on the campus of St. Clair College in Windsor, Ontario. As the regular season winds down and the playoffs are on the horizon, the Mohawk Mountaineers come to town to take on the St. Clair Saints and OCAA women's soccer. Hello, everybody. My name is Dan Dominguez, and I, along with the Wee Digital crew, will have all the action from the pitch. We're going to get started and take a look at that Mohawk starting lineup. Their keeper today, Annabelle Ferreira, is their starting keeper. Marley Droppert, Luna Leo, Sylvia Sokaz, Grace McClellan, Bernarda Torres, Emily Schwartz, Alyssa Glassbergen, and Madison Rodriguez, Claudia Calix, and the wind it up is Rachel Gudemi. Their head coach is Paul Giannini in his 5th year with the Mohawks. And then now your St. Clair Saints, a 4-0-3 record. They're led by head coach Steve Vanini in his 8th year. At keeper is going to be Scotty Fick. And their lineup today, Sierra Lapos, Victoria Walsh. We'll talk a little bit more about her as the match proceeds. Peyton Lassard, Alice Costanton, Talia Liberty, Jessica Dahl, Alicia Oliveto, Brianna Kinsley-Clough, Lily Jazz, and rounding it up, Leah Burrell is your starting lineup. The St. Clair Saints are going to be in all white today. As we mentioned, they're a 4-0-3 record. They have 15 points. They trail Niagara. Niagara is sitting at a 5-0-2 at 17 points. Mohawk stands in 6th place with a 3-4-1 record. They have 10 points. Most teams have 2 or 3 matches remaining in the season. The OCAA rank for the Saints thus far is their 5th rank provincially, while Mohawk sits at number 8. St. Clair has a home record of 1 win, no losses, and 2 draws, while Mohawk has a road record, 1 win, 1 loss, and 1 draw. They're on a 3-game losing streak, while the Saints have won their last match. In 2024, when these two teams met up, St. Clair defeated Mohawk back on September 8th of last year, 4-1. Walsh, Mognan, Liberty, and Hudson were the goal scorers with Estefan. But we mentioned how Scotty Fick is between the pipes today for the Saints. She's pretty much taken over as the number 1 for the St. Clair Saints. She started all but the opening game against Humber. And then Mohawk with their keeper Ferreira. Ferreira so far hasn't played a whole lot. She only has 1 save on the year. Not a lot of minutes, hasn't given up a goal. Hadley and Kerr have been their starting goalies mostly, but Coach Paul Giannini giving Ferreira the start today. Annabelle Ferreira, 5'5" out of Hamilton, first-year player. And here comes Mohawk taking the field. They're going to be going from left to right. They're kind of wearing that burnt orange, kind of University of Texas colors, with the white stripe coming down, and the Saints in all white. They're going to start with the possession on the opening kick. We're waiting for our referee to blow the whistle. We're going to be underway here at Acumen Stadium. First match of 2. We have the men's to follow, about 20-30 minutes to follow following this first one. Big matchup for the Saints women as they're trying to catch Niagara for that 1 seed in the OCAA. They currently trail by 2 points, so big 3 points on the line here for Mohawk and St. Clair. And we're underway. Saints have possession, just kind of feeling each other out now. Lapos going to go all the way across the field, near side. It's Burrell. Burrell to Dahl in front of us. Dahl has 3 players kind of converged, so the Saints are going to try the far side. The Mohawk, definitely a defense-first team. 9 goals for, only giving up 8 goals in their 8 games. But here come the Saints on the far side. Possession in the box. They have a open. There's going to be a quick shot. Oh, nice save by the keeper, Ferreira. So Ferreira, an early save to keep the Saints off the board. The Saints will have a corner. Saints have 43 corners. They have third in the league in corners. So a lot of pressure being put on by the Saints. That's Lapos, 5'3" out of Tilbury, Ursuline College, second-year player. Getting ready for the corner. Little curving ball off a couple of bodies. Saints trying to come away with it. Oliveto with the big boot. Oh, she scores! Oliveto with the early goal in the second minute. Elisa Oliveto, her third goal of the season. 5'3" out of Windsor. Holy names. A big goal. And you can see that ball just finding the foot of Oliveto. In the second minute of the game, Oliveto scores her third of the year, and not the start Mohawk needed. As we mentioned, only giving up 1 goal per game, and here they all are already down 1-0. And here come the Saints again. We haven't even got to some of the scratches for the Saints. They were missing a couple big players today. Natalie Kersey, Lily Collins, both scratched with injuries today. Coach Vanini was worried those would be some big losses today, but the rest of the team has already stepped up and given them a 1-0 lead. Saints again have it in the corner. A little centering ball short side. That's going to be a goal kick. So as we mentioned, not a lot of experience from Annabelle Ferreira. And she gets ready to take the goal kick. She just pushes it out to the side. And Mohawk has their first possession of this match. Walsh keeping a close eye. They play a little 3-man game, and finally the Mohawk Mountaineers are able to escape to midfield. Nice little give and go, and now the Mohawk sends it all the way towards Fick. Fick comes out and scoops it up. That's the first we've seen of Scotty Fick. Fick's having a great year. After not playing the first match of the season against Humber in that draw, Scotty Fick is 4-0-2 and only giving up 2 goals, 28 saves, a .933 save percentage, and a .33 goals against. That .33 is number 1 in the OCAA. Her save percentage is 3rd. Mohawk kicks it up towards midfield. A little 50-50 ball. It's going to go off the Mountaineers, so it's going to be a throw-in. Nice play by Burrell, just kind of kicking it off the shin of the Mohawk forward. And the Saints are going to have the throw-in. Burrell to Oliveto, the goal scorer, back in the second minute. And there's number 18, Brianna Kinsley-Claw. She's wearing the captain's armband for the Saints today. Kinsley-Claw, 5'6" out of Georgetown. Christ the King, another third-year player. Lots of third-year players on this Saints team. Here come the Saints again. Little ball in. Vicky Walsh is in the neighborhood. So is Dahl. The goalie has to pounce on it. All sorts of pressure. Dahl, Walsh, all pressuring the keeper. Costanton watching the Mountaineer defender. That one's stolen away by the Saints. Kick to the middle. Nice little move. That looks like Walsh. Walsh has it, gives it off to the outside. And that ball is going to be past the boundary line and a throw-in. That's Costanton. She's going to give it up and let 13 come and grab it. That's Talia Liberty. Liberty has a goal this season. Saints have a really spread out attack this year. Obviously, Vicky Walsh with her 6 goals. At another midfield, there's Walsh trying to battle. Both players go down. Mohawk comes away with it. 9 different goal scorers this year for the Saints. Nice little footwork by Mohawk, and they're able to escape. They cross midfield. First time with him, that's Gudemi. Pushes it outside. Glassbergen now. 1-on-1. Lassard watches. Lassard's able to kick it away temporarily. A race for the ball. Mohawk still retains. Shorts has to backpedal and ends up going back to the midfield again to the back line, and Mohawk looks to regroup. Early in this one here at Acumen Stadium, Saints scored a quick one if you're joining us late. Alicia Oliveto got the Saints on the board back in the second minute. Not a big offensive team. Only 9 goals scored this season for the Mountaineers. The Saints have 17, and Mohawks played one extra game. This one's going to go all the way back to Fick. Fick pushes it out to Burrell, and Burrell is going to look to give it off to Olivito. Olivito tries a big boot up the middle. She saw Lily Jazz there, but that ball is stopped, and it's going to make it all the way back to Scotty Fick again. Scotty Fick, another third-year player, 5'8" out of Bell River High School. The Saints are going to try the far side. It looks like Liberty. Mohawk comes away right in front of the Mohawk bench. They go to midfield. That's 10. That's Madison Rodriguez. That's their star player. Kind of their forward that has 1 goal but 3 assists. Real setup. She's 5'8" out of Hamilton. Torres, one-on-one. Burrell stands her ground, and Olivito just gets rid of it. That's going to be a throw-in for Mohawk. Hannah Kelly, number 4. She wasn't starting today. She leads the team in goals. Well, I'm sure we'll see her a little bit. She's out of Niagara Falls. That one kicked off the back of Dahl. Headed forward by Olivito. And again, Mohawk retreating. 8th minute of this one. The final weekend game for the Saints. Olivito midfield. Nice little push up to Jazz. Jazz tries to send one up. Constantin chases. And they boot it all the way out. That's going to be a throw-in. Good position for the Saints. She thought about going back to the keeper, but decided to try and boot it to the outside, but didn't have anybody there. And Liberty quickly throws it in. Oh, nice little move by the Saints. Just on the edge of the box. A little crossing pass, but can't get through. Nice little touch pass to mid. Defended by Lapos. Lapos stays with the Mohawk forward. And this one's stolen away, but Mohawk still retains. Midfield to Calix. And there's Lassard with the left foot in the middle of the field to Olivito. She's got some space. Tries to push it outside to Dahl, but Dahl was nowhere near that pass. Liberty tried to step through to steal that one. And there's Kinsley Kloss trying to push the Mountaineer off the ball. Right on the Saints logo, midfield. They're going to go to the outside. That's Torres. Torres out of Burlington. That's going to be a throw-in the forward third for Mohawk. Luna Leo getting ready to throw this one in. 5'4" out of Burlington. Tries to return it. Just kept in. The Saints are just going to boot it away again. And that looks like Burrell hitting the turf. And here's the throw-in. That one's going to, looks like it's going to trickle past the line. That does. That's going to be a goal kick for Fick. So we're in the 10th minute. Really no pressure so far from Mohawk. The Saints have a couple of shots and put one in. Olivito got one in the back of the net back in the 2nd minute. There's Olivito there. Olivito hits the turf, but the ball's stolen away. Mohawk, nice pass in. Fick's going to have to come out and grab that one. As Olivito's slow back to her feet. Looks like she's kind of working that right foot or calf. And the Saints are able to get it to the far side, but Mohawk has possession. Right in front of the Mountaineers bench. Lapos tries to steal, and that ball passes the boundary line. Mohawk's going to throw in on the far side. That one's stolen away. Oh, Dahl tries to head it towards the goal, just misses. That ball is all the way near side, right near the boundary line. Mohawk has it and elects to pass back. big boot up the field. Kinsley Clough is going to chase that, but Fick is also there to help. Lassard to Lapos. Goes the outside to Liberti. Liberti tries to push it up to Constantin. And again, they go to the outside. That looks like it went off the Saints player. It did. So it's going to be a throw in deep in Mohawk area. Logjam in the middle of the standings. Mohawk in 6th place with a 3-4-1 record. They need some points. If not, they're going to end up with a tough first-round matchup once the playoffs in about a week and a half. Constantin pushes it up. Mohawk has it. Liberti watches. So pretty slow-moving game. Mohawk not really taking too many chances early in this one. Here's one ball they finally send up. Looks like it's gonna pass. That goes right to head coach Steve Vanini, multiple-time coach of the year in the OCAA. You see the Saints wearing their pink Breast Cancer Awareness Month on the bench. Liberti a little touch to the outside to Lassard. Lassard pushes it up to 20 Jazz. This one heads towards the keeper, but that gets past everyone, and it's going to be a goal kick for Ferreira. So we're in the 13th minute. Saints lead 1-0. Still only 2 shots for the Saints. 1 save for the keeper, and 1 got past her. Again, Ferreira playing the most minutes she has this year. It's going to be a warm day out there for the players. 25 degrees, feels like 30. Not a cloud in the sky right now. So I imagine they will take a water break at some point in this match. Saints push it out. Vanini barking instructions from the sideline. As the Saints regroup all the way back to Scotty Fick. Fick touches it back. They push it outside to Liberti. A little touch inside the Jazz. Jazzing outside to Liberti again. The Saints looking for a little bit of room. Liberti touches it in to Constantin in the edge of the box. Looking for a cross. Puts it on her left boot. A little kick towards the net. Walsh is there. Just kicked away. So a nice little attack there from the Saints. Burrell keeps it as they're looking to press. They try and bump Burrell off, and that one gets stolen away by the Mohawk defender, and that's going to trickle away near side past the boundary line. We saw Vicky Walsh there. Vicky Walsh sits at 26 goals in her OCAA career for St. Clair. She's in her 3rd year. The research I've done, I couldn't find any more. I found Misty Finley, the only player with more. Back in from 97 to 99, Misty Finley, who was a member of the OCAA Women's All-Millennium team, had 27 career goals for the Saints. So Vicky Walsh sits 1 goal away from tying the St. Clair goal record for women's soccer. So there's a chance we could see that tying goal here today, potentially. Here comes Mohawk. Mohawk's got a shot. Big right boot towards Fick. Fick off the post. It's still just barely out. Fick puts a hand on it. What a save. We'll see the replay here. It looks like hand, crossbar, and maybe more hand. Kind of a funky bounce. So hand, crossbar, head. And Scotty Fick was able to just get enough of that to keep it from getting over the line and tying this matchup. Nice little step over by Burrell. Oh, big collision. And Burrell is down. Gets a big hand from the men's Mohawk team in front of us. You see the big collision just not down on our left side. But Scotty Fick, the save of the match so far. Burrell, big boot inside. Constantin's in the neighborhood. The 2 Mohawk players are able to kick it away to midfield. Kinsley Clough pushes it back in. Constantine pushes outside to Liberty. Liberty's got some space over there. She's going to look for a crossing ball. Elects to go back to Lessard. Lessard's going to line one up. A big boot from Lessard over everything. And that's going to be a goal kick. So the first big opportunity of the match just a minute or so ago by Mohawk. They got a nice shot in against Fick. Almost got over her head. Just got enough fingers on it to push it off the crossbar. Ricocheted off her head. And then no pressure, no rebound for Mohawk. And this game remains 1-0 Saints. Going to be a throw in deep in Mohawk area. That was the first pressure we've seen from the Mountaineers in this one. Again, not a big goal-scoring team. 9 goals for, 8 goals against for Mohawk through 8 games. Only averaging 11 shots per game. Where the Saints are averaging 18.6 per game. So a big difference in shots. A race for the ball. Burrell chases. She's got Torres with her. Torres pushes it towards Fick. Fick keeps it from going past the boundary line. Gives it up to Burrell. Burrell pushes it back. And now Kinsley Clough has some space. Kinsley Clough will touch the outside. Dahl has it. That's Walsh and Dahl working together. Nice cross pass all the way to Lapos. Lapos pushes it in. Got Liberty just out of the outstretched foot of Talia Liberty. Pressure from Lapos. She's got possession. Oh, nice little touch. Saints have a run here. Inside the Walsh. And the goalie pounces on it. 3 Saints were in the area on that one. Unable to get another one past Ferreira. Here comes Torres. That one's stolen away quickly. Dahl has it midfield. Middle of the field. Saints elect to go back to regroup. That was Jazz getting it back to Burrell. Burrell tries to get it up to Dahl, but the defender is there. Midfield is Rodriguez. Olivito and Kinsley Clough, but a little back and forth action from the Saints and Mountaineers. There's Claudia Calix, gets it to the midfield stripe. And Kinsley Clough's going to go and chase that one back and leave it for the goalkeeper, Scotty Fick. Oh, we have a player down near side, number 7. That's Bernarda Torres took a knee. 5'2" out of Burlington, Assumption High School. They're calling in a trainer. She's in her 2nd year. I didn't see what happened to her. I don't know if it's just a early cramp. But it looks like we're going to take this opportunity to have a water break here in the first half. So we were talking about the all-time goal leaders. Misty Finley, as we mentioned, at 27 goals. She was a member of the OCAA bronze medal winning team for the Saints, an all-star back in '99. She's also a member of the Women's Football Hall of Fame. She played for the Detroit Demolition back in the Women's Football League, and she won 5 titles. So that's the record holder that Victoria Walsh is trying to break. She's 1 goal away from tying Misty's record and 2 from breaking it. As we mentioned, the Saints they're the 5th ranked team in the province. Mohawk number 8. Saints are trying to catch Niagara. Niagara sits 2 points ahead. Niagara's 5-0-2. And on the near side, she walks off. Torres does with the trainer. As a substitute looks like it's going to take her place. Can't quite see a number yet on the substitute. It looks like it might be 12. Brianna Beckles, if it is. Yeah, it looks like Brianna Breckles coming in. 5'7" out of Scarborough. Wexford Collegiate School of Arts. First-year player. So she comes on for the injured Torres. Torres has had some good runs here early on in the first half as we're almost halfway through. So they put the ball back in play. The Saints have it. 22nd minute. Saints lead 3 shots to 1. 1-0 on the scoreboard. Both keepers have made a save. Oliveto scored all the way back in the 2nd minute. That one's almost stolen away as the bench for Mohawk warns of a looming Saints player. This ball's kicked in, but Oliveto's there. She's looking back for room. She's probably going to go back to Fick, and she does. Fick finds Leah Burrell on the near side. Burrell's got a lot of space. Being chased on. There's Beckles, the new player. And that gets past everyone. So we noticed the Natalie Kersey not playing. She's usually good for a few runs down the sideline. This one's stolen away by Constantine. Constantine pushes one towards the keeper, but nowhere near the net. So missing Kersey is definitely a big loss for the Saints here today. Lily Collins on the back line as well. But the Saints back line pretty strong with Kinsley Clough, Lily Collins, and then here comes Dahl down the left side. Dahl's got space. He's got that on the left side. Crossing shot. Misses everyone. Just kind of curls away from the keeper, Ferreira. You saw she had a little bit of room coming on that left boot, but just kind of hooked it away from the net. And not really a big opportunity there for the Saints. But on the back line, we've seen Peyton Lassard, 5'7" out of St. Thomas Parkside, a rookie. Kind of had her struggles maybe in that first game or so against Humber, but has been a really strong player. There's Vicky Walsh. Walsh with a big right boot. The keeper is able to knock it down. Annabelle Ferreira. So Ferreira starting to see some more action. The Saints trying the pressure. Oh, shoved down from behind by Oliveto. They play on. Oliveto pushes it outside to Liberty. So as we mentioned with Kersey, we're going to have to see who's going to take that spot of getting those runs down the sideline. We've seen Dahl do that before. Liberty's trying to do it today as she's down that right wing. There she is there, but a little miscommunication. That ball's going to just cross over the line, and it's going to be a throw-in. Looks like we have substitutions at midfield. Looks like a couple of Mountaineers coming in. That's Rodriguez, one of their star players, going off. And Gudemi as well going off. And there's number 4. She didn't start today. Hannah Kelly. She's their leading goal scorer, number 4. 5'5" out of Niagara Falls. I didn't see the next player. Might have been 16, Emma Henriquez. Oliveto hustles back to stop that crossing pass. That goes all the way back to Fick. Oliveto, just a nose for the ball. Always seems to be in the right place at the right time, either offensively or defensively. Here comes Liberty. Liberty trying to get past, gets tripped up, and the ball trickles past the boundary line, but that's going to be a throw-in for the Saints. Liberty has Jazz, and a little give and go off the throw. Left boot inside, nice touch to the outside by Walsh. Walsh pushes it in, but no Saints are there, and that's going to cross the line. And that's going to be a kick for the keeper for the Mountaineers. They're led by Paul Giannini, his 5th year. This ball makes it all the way to midfield, and that's going to go past everybody, and a throw-in for the Saints as Leah Burrell is going to have to chase that one down for the throw-in. We're in the 26th minute of the first half, OCAA women's soccer. The Saints just have 2 matches left in the regular season. Today and next Thursday they will have senior day. Liberty can't get past. She had Constantine up there but couldn't get her a pass. Mohawk has it midfield. Near side, Beckles. Beckles tries to get around. The player just falls and takes the Saints player down with her. Oliveto kicks it up to Burrell. And now Dahl. Dahl looking for space. And that ball's back and forth right in front of us and finally pushed ahead, and that looks like it's going to be a foul called. That's going to be a good area for the Mountaineers. Yellow cards. The Mohawk has 10 this year. They're actually second in the OCAA. The Saints have 6. They're fourth in the OCAA. We're in the 27th minute. Oliveto scored back in the second minute for the only scoring of this match thus far. That's number 5, Sylvia Sokaz, getting ready to put this one back into play. 5'3" out of Oakville. St. Ignatius of Loyola High School, fourth-year player. Big right boot. Gets pushed back by the Saints. Again, sent in. A little bit of pressure here. Left boot towards the net, and Fick is there. Plays it on a knee and is able to scoop that one up. So a little pressure there from Mohawk after the free kick. But the Saints are able to defend. Lapos pushes it outside to Liberty. Liberty's got 2 bodies on her. Still able to retain. Pushes it inside the Jazz, and a touch to Lassard. Lassard's going to try the near side with Burrell. Burrell gets around the Mohawk player. Nice little touch in by Vicky. Dahl's in, has on the left boot, tries a centering ball, but no Saints are there. Vicky looking for a rebound, and Walsh unable to find it. So we're keeping an eye on Walsh, 1 goal away from tying the Saints record for women's soccer. Up ahead, Beckles. Taken away by Kinsley Clough. In the middle is Jazz. Saints have a little something going here. Constantine falls to a knee and loses the ball. Number 2, that's Marley Droppert, able to come back and defend out of Dunville. Smithville Christian High School. Liberty pushes it to the middle. The big boot of Lapos. She kind of sends a couple hopper, and the keeper dives. Doesn't look like that was going to be on net anyway. But Ferreira is able to scoop that one up. That'll be the 6th-shot attempt for the Saints. 3 saves so far for Ferreira, 2 for Fick. As we mentioned, Mohawk doesn't get a lot of shots off per game, just over 11 per game. More of a defense-first style from Mohawk. Nice little step around by the Mohawk player. They got it up to Beckles now. Beckles has a couple of defenders on her, and Burrell steals the ball and just shoves the player down. They send it up to Dahl. Dahl trying to chase it down just out of the outstretched foot. Lapos tried to send her in, but just got past her a little bit too much. That's going to be a throw-in down on the left side for the Mohawk Mountaineers. Beckles gets it on the throw. Just right down the line. Beautiful pass. There's Kelly. That one just hugged the boundary line. But Kinsley Clough is able to outrun Hannah Kelly. And that's going to be a goal kick. A couple substitutions now for the Saints. So Vicky Walsh is going to take a little rest here, as is Costanton. And the substitutes making their way onto the pitch for the Saints. We'll get the numbers there. One of them is going to be Allie Tales. You can see the tall Allie Tales in front of us, 5'9". Here's a chance. That one, oh, what a save! There's a rebound. Still loose. And the Saints are able to survive again. Scotty Fick bails out the Saints once again. And Scotty Fick just dives to the ground and is able to get a piece of that one. And the pressure again from Mohawk. And there's Tails. We've seen her. She just fell down. She's wearing 16. The other one's Kate Peck coming in, number 8, her first action. So the Saints a little bit sloppy in their own zone here for a moment. And here they lose possession again as the left boot heads towards the keeper. And this time she's able to push it out in front of her, keeping it from crossing that line. So the Saints a little sloppy in their own zone. This one gets kicked out, so the Saints are going to try and clear on the throw-in. As you see, that looked like goalie coach going over to talk to Scotty Fick. That's Anthony Santilli giving Fick some words of wisdom over from the sideline. He's in his 4th year on the Saints coaching staff. Little battle, so Hannah Kelly. There's Kelly with the ball again. And Mohawk has it again. 32nd minute. Back to midfield, Mohawk has it. Saints still lead 1-0, but the momentum shifted a little bit. Mohawk is putting on a little bit more pressure here in the last few minutes. Leo tries a centering ball, just chipped away by Kinsley Clough. There's Tails, first time we've seen her with the ball. Tries a little give and go. Dahl sends out instructions to go far side. A little bit more green over there. Lapos, nice little footwork from Lapos midfield to get some space. Ball goes all the way through everyone's legs to Dahl. Dahl's trying to outrun the defender. Nice slide. Beautiful slide tackle from Marley Droppert. Couple players go down. Tails goes down again. That's going to be a foul on Tails. The crowd not liking that call. A little controversy there on that one. Looks like they just got tangled up and took each other down, but it went in favor of the Mohawk Mountaineers. As we see Liberty coming off the pitch now. We'll try and get a number of the player coming in on the back end for the Saints. So a free kick in the back third. They elect just to go short. That one's stolen away quickly by the Saints. That's Jazz. Jazz pushes it up to Peck, but Peck's unable to chase it down. That's going to be a throw-in in good area for the Saints. So there's Kate Peck, 5'5", Oxford, Michigan, third-year player. Throws it in. Jazz is going to put a boot on it. Little curling pass. Oh, just over the bar. A beautiful shot from about 20 yards out. Had a nice curving ball. Just couldn't get that top spin on it. Mohawk tries to clear. Olivito defends. Mohawk finally gets some forward momentum here. Nice pass through the middle. She's got some room. That's Schwartz. And finally, some Saints converge on her. Jazz has it. A little touch to Olivito. Olivito's got some space. Goes back, pushes it outside. Saints have it. That's Peck. Peck pushes it out to Vicky Walsh, now playing that right side. Walsh looking to cross. Sends a centering ball to Tails. Walsh retains. Puts a nice left boot over to Olivito. Olivito tries to get one towards the net, but coming out it nicely is the Mohawk defender. That was number 5, Sokaz. Walsh again, right foot. Little two-hopper past the keeper, and that's going to be a goal kick. So we're in a 36 minutes. Saints putting some pressure on now. Mohawk elects just to do a little touch pass outside off the goal kick to the middle, but look at Olivito jump the pass, and she steals. Tries to get into Lapos. Lapos, that's Peck. She's got some space. Oh, nicely at the last moment. Sylvia Sokaz able to get a piece of that one. And that's going to be a corner for the Saints. It's their second corner, I believe, of this match. They came into it third in the OCAA in corner kicks. That's Lapos now looking. You can see the Saints all at the top of the trying to send it in. Olivito's there. She gets a boot on it. Olivito. Oh, a little soft little changeup. The keeper was already down, and she tried to flick one over the keeper, but unable to get much on it. And look at Olivito all over. She's got Beckles and just takes it away from Beckles, but can't keep it in. And that's going to be a throw-in down below us here for the Mountaineers. That's Luna Leo getting ready to throw. 9 shots to 3 for the Saints. 4 saves to 3 for Ferreira, the Mohawk keeper. Fick has 3. 2 really nice saves. Nice little back heel sends it in, but that's going to get past everybody. Scotty Fick's kept 2 balls that probably should have been in the back of the net, kept them out. After not starting the first match of this season, she's started every match for the Saints, as they've gone 4-0-2 since she's taken over as a starter. So another throw-in. They're starting to wind down here in the first half. Still about 8 minutes to go. Had the one injury on the near side, so there might be some added time. There's Kelly. She's their leading goal scorer with 3. But Lapos is able to take it away. Pushes it outside to Walsh. Give and go. They're going to give it back to Walsh. They got some space now. There's Walsh sprinting. She got Peck on her left and Tails as well. Peck unable to go anywhere with it. They're still battling. Peck finally sends one towards the net. No rebound. That big Allie Tails is there in case the keeper made a mistake. Allie Tails has 2 goals this season. She's tied for second on the team in goals behind Vicky Walsh. There's 3 Saints with 2 goals apiece. Jazz and Olivito are the other. So actually Olivito's now in second in goals after she scored that early one here today for the Saints. Stolen away by the Saints. Lapos tries to put a big right boot on it, unable to get it past. Now the left foot just off the side of the foot. Not a lot on that one from Olivito, as we have a substitution on the far side now for the Mohawk Mountaineers. That looks like Beckles. She's going to just come off near side. And that looks like Rodriguez coming back in for Mohawk. Mohawk trying to get out of the penalty area. A little bit dangerous kind of handling in that area. Jazz steals away. There's Tails. Tails trying to push it into Walsh. Walsh with the left foot. Oh, just misses the outside corner. Walsh almost had that Saints record-tying goal. A beautiful pass in from Tails, but just unable to get that one inside the far post. That one goal kick right out of bounds. Not a great goal kick there from Ferreira. It's going to be a throw in far side by the Saints. Tries to get a high ball into Walsh. Walsh couldn't quite handle it. Dahl was lurking as well, but Ferreira is able to come up with it. Punts it to midfield. First bounce misses everyone, and now Kelly has it. Outside, Glassbergen's got a chance. Fick trying to look. Oh, go short side, misses everything up through the uprights. So Glassbergen tried to go short side. Might have been better off trying to go to the wide side. You saw Fick come over and kind of stop that short side goal. And Glassbergen just gets underneath it, the 5'7" midfielder out of Burlington, Hamilton District Christian High School. About 5 minutes to go here in the first half. This one's touched forward. Mohawks there, then go all the way back to the keeper. Tails chases. And that one goes up and over everything off the bench area of the Mohawk Mountaineers, as they're going to look for another soccer ball here, as they're trying to wrangle that one up. I don't see where the ball boys are. They're finally going to give one. The ball boy finally hands over his soccer ball. as they'll try and retrieve that one from behind the Mountaineers bench. Nice throw in towards Walsh. Walsh tries to control, unable to do so. Tails is there. Peck's able to almost steal that one away. And that one goes past the boundary line. Oh, they're going to give possession. Lessard might have touched that before it crossed the line. And Lessard throws the ball down. She might get she's going to get a yellow for that or just a warning? She threw the ball down. Just a warning from the referee. And she kind of tossed that ball aside and able to let herself get back into position. You can hear Coach Vanini barking instructions defensively on the far sideline, where he wants his back line. And that one ball gets turned over. Really animated today, Coach Vanini. This is a big 3 points for the Saints. This could temporarily put them in first place. Niagara still has to play. Niagara has 3 matches to go, and they're currently 2 points ahead in the standings. Oliveto steals that one away, looks for some space, kind of steps around the defender, pushes it off to Jazz. Jazz is there, along with Peck, but Mohawk's able to come away with it. Saints pressuring the back line of the Mountaineers. And this one, look at Oliveto again, always, but she couldn't control that one. At 13, Calix, she pushes it back, and there's Lapos again. So the Saints doing a good job not letting a lot of those long passes get through. Lessard pushes it outside. The Saints have it. They try and send Tails in, unable to do so. That's number 5, Sylvia Sokaz. There's Tails again. Hard pass in, off the foot, right to a Mohawk defender. A little battle for the ball. Saints come away with it. On the left boot, centering ball, Dolls in the neighborhood. Tails as well. As Walsh is back in the match. And finally, Rodriguez tries to come away with it, but Lapos chases her down. Lapos has it, sends it into Vicky Walsh. Centering ball to Tails. Tails looking for help, and you see Burrell pointing instructions as she hustles past, tries to get past the Mohawk midfielder that came back. That ball goes past the line. That is going to be a throw-in on the near side for the Saints. We're nearing the end of the first half. Might have a little bit of added time here. But we'll see if the Saints can get one more rush here. Tails has it. Tries to get around the defender, looking for a crossing ball. Unable to do so, but earns a corner. Nice play by Tails to earn the corner there. She could have tried a crossing ball, but she probably wasn't going to get a lot on it. So just kind of kicked it into the Mohawk defender. As the Saints now have 11 shots. 11-4 are the shots. 4 saves to 3 still for the Ferreira over Fick. But the most important score, the 1-0 Saints lead. Lapos kicks one. That's close. Oh, just off the side of the net. She had a nice curving ball on that one. As we're just about to hear the horn, I believe, for the first half. No horn, but we're at now in added time. So we don't normally add it. We couldn't see if the referee didn't make a signal, but it should only be a minute or two, I believe, of added time. We'll see if the Saints can get one more rush here. Lapos has it, a little bit of space. Oh, it just slid off her foot. And here come the Mountaineers. They had some space, Glassberg, and they had 2-on-1, but Lessard now gets back. They still have some space. Oh, left boot, nothing on it, though, and that's going to go well past the keeper, nowhere near the net. The Saints had quite a bit of pressure up, so they only had a couple of defenders back. So Mohawk had a bit of a run, but unable to do anything with it on the 2-on-1, 3-on-2 opportunity. Kinsley Clough pushes it up to Dahl, keeping eye on the referee, and there it is. First half is complete here at Acumen Stadium. The St. Clair Saints lead the Mohawk Mountaineers 1-0 on a second-minute goal from Alicia Oliveto. My name is Dan Dominguez. We're going to step away for a quick timeout. We'll be back with second half action here on We Digital.
At the end of the first half, the Saints lead 1-0.
Welcome back, everybody, to Acumen Stadium on the campus of St. Clair College here in Windsor, Ontario. My name is Dan Dominguez. Thanks for joining us here on We Digital. First half, the Saints scored early. Second minute, Olivito got one past the keeper for the only goal of this match. It was pretty slow going after that. A few chances. Mohawk had a couple of good opportunities that Fick was able to keep out of the back of the net. Near side, Costanton has it, but that goes past the boundary line. That's going to be a throw-in deep in Mohawk area. Ferrer is the keeper for Mohawk. Scotty Fick for the Saints. Looks like Lapos on the throw. No, it's not Lapos. That was Jazz in the tails. Tails gets shoved down. And that's going to be a goal kick early on for Mohawk. The Saints have 15 points on the table, 4 wins, no losses, 3 ties. Mohawk 3-4-1 for 10 points. St. Clair sits in second place on the table. They go all the way back to the keeper. She's not sure where to go with it. Oh, that's almost a big mistake by the keeper for the Mohawk Mountaineers, as Allie Tails almost got in the way of that outlet pass and it almost ended up in the net for an early one for the Saints. So Olivito sends it over to Lassard. Lassard, a little entry pass. Liberty's able to keep it in. Kinsley Clough, she's wearing the captain's armband for the Saints. Pushes it outside the Lapos. She's got Walsh up the middle, but just pushes it outside. Might be a little too far, and it is. That goes past the boundary line. That's going to be a throw-in. So look at the opportunity as the keeper just tries to send the outlet pass, and Allie Tails, it just ricochets off her, and it just goes right back into the hands of the keeper to keep this game at 1-0. There's Coach Vanini, again, barking instructions out there. He's been pretty animated in this one. Oh, there's a over-the-top pass. Rodriguez was there, just couldn't get the hop. Mohawk still pressuring. Olivito defends, steps around Olivito. Nice little entry pass to Kelly. Kelly pushes one in on the right side. That's past everyone, heading to the corner. Victoria Walsh chases it down to keep it in. Wind's picked up here a little bit more in the second half. Coming kind of out of the west. Nothing that should affect the players too much. Not that strong of a breeze. Humidex over 30. I guess it's nice in October that we're still talking humidex and not wind chill. A couple players go down. Tails just falls on top of the Mohawk player. And the Saints fans not liking the call against Tails there as well, as Kelly went down to the turf and had Tails fall on top of her. We got umbrellas out here in the crowd, but that's because of the sun and the heat here today. We had one break in the first half for a water break during one of the injuries, and I'm sure we'll see that again in the second half. Nice boot in, and there's always in the right spot at the right time, it seems, is Olivito. Alicia Olivito out of Windsor, only 5'3", holy names, but a really strong player. Scored her third goal of the season. Back in the second minute for the Saints. Liberty sends it into Olivito. And now Lassard. Lassard looking much more confident than she did early on in her OCAA career. Lapos trying to send in Walsh. Walsh chases in. Foot race with the keeper, and the keeper is able to get there. That's a nice little attempt there by the Saints to send in the speedy Victoria Walsh. Walsh, as we mentioned, just one goal away from tying the Saints women's soccer record. And you see Burrell just kind of going through the Mohawks forward, getting a foul call. And there's a look at the umbrella on this warm, sunny Saturday afternoon here in Southwest Ontario. We're at Acumen Stadium on the pitch here at St. Clair College. Mohawk has it near side. They try and send it low down to Kelly. Kelly's their leading goal scorer with 3, but it's taken away by Liberty. Tails just tries to control, unable to do so. All the way back, that's Sokaz. Sokaz across the midfield stripe, pushes it far side. That's Luna Leo now. That one's stolen away by the Saints. Vicky Walsh spins off the defender and is able to get past her. Nice little spin. Now Vicky's going to try and outrun everybody. There she goes around everyone. She's got the ball far side. Walsh tries a centering ball and just defended at the last moment. The speed from Vicky Walsh, a little spin move at midfield and just sprints 50 yards down the field past everyone. One defender away from putting it into the back of the net. Only in her third year, already with 26 career OCAA goals. There's Lapos now getting ready for the corner. 5-3 out of Tilbury. The Saints crowd the penalty area. Nice high ball. That's over everyone's head, though, as Oliveto tries to chase. Oliveto tries to step around the defender. She does so. Now she's got some space for a cross. Steps around. Oh, nice little pass into Jazz. Jazz short side, and she does kick it short side. Not much space. Nice job by Oliveto to give them the attempt. And then Jazz tried to go hard short side, but as you can see on the replay, not much room there. The Saints now 12 shots to 4. Still 4 saves to 3 in favor of Ferreira over Scotty Fick. Lassard tries to step through. She goes down. She's got to get back up because they're shorter defender now. And now you see Lassard kind of backpedal into position. That ball is into Kelly. Good job by Kinsley Clough keeping an eye on her, and then a poor entry pass by Mohawk, and that's going to be a throw-in for the Saints as Kinsley Clough slowly tries to retrieve it. And now she lets Lassard go and grab it. Tries to throw it in. Tails is there. Goes all the way back to the captain. And they elect to go back to the keeper, and Scotty Fick's going to regroup. Near side, Lassard. Liberty tries for a nice entry pass and has it to Tails. Tails has some space. Tails looking for a cross. Tries to walk through the defender, but that one gets pushed past the boundary line, and another corner for the Saints. That's got to be about the 5th, I believe, now for the St. Clair Saints. Lapos has been sending in some pretty good entry passes. Going to be kicking this one kind of into the wind now, so we'll see if she can hold it up. And they have the tall Allie Tails, 5'9". Let's see if she's going to be in there to try and head one home. Line drive. Over a couple of heads. There's a kick. Oh, short side. Just misses. That was Vicky Walsh. Mad at herself missing that one. The entry ball went over everyone's head. Vicky Walsh was there. Just misses short side. Nice little step around by the defender. The Saints really pressuring the ball, and there could be a turnover if Tails slides. She has it. Pushes out to Liberty. And they're going to regroup with Lassard. Lassard touches it in the Jazz. Nice ball movement by the Saints. Oliveto. Well, Oliveto couldn't quite find Lapos. That's Burrell kind of pinching in now from her defensive position. Still has it. Now has some space. Kicks it in the Walsh. Walsh one-on-one. Left boot. Far side. Rebound. Oh, Liberty just might have caught the post. Calling for a handball, looks like Walsh was. Good opportunity from the Saints. And Liberty just had an opportunity on the far side and just missed. A 2-goal lead would seem like an insurmountable goal lead here today, as Mohawk hasn't given a lot of opportunities offensively. And the ones they have had, Scotty Fick's been up for the challenge. Turnover, Saints have it. Left cross, and they're going to head to the corner again, Lapos. So Sierra Lapos has been busy with the corner. She sent some pretty good entry balls. Almost feels like it's just a matter of time for the Saints to convert on one of these corners. Looking at, I believe, on my count, there's 6 corner, maybe 7 now. Everyone gets organized. Jazz sprints towards the goal, and there's Tails, the tall Tails, looking for a header. That just skips past everyone, heading towards the corner. Which way is it going? Looks like it's going to be... Oh, it looks like it's going to be possession for the Saints. So it might be a throw-in on the far corner. So it looks like they're going to throw this in quickly before Mohawk can set up defensively, and they do. Lassard, nice little step around by Lassard, but she loses possession. Kinsley Clough pinches dangerously because here comes Mohawk as Burrell has to sprint across the field to come and defend. Ball goes past the boundary line, but this will give the Saints a chance to regroup. We got a whistle here. Oh, there's an injury on the far side on the right. I think that's Lassard that's down, I believe. We didn't see what happened to her. As we're in the 56th minute. If it is Lassard, Peyton Lassard, 5'7", St. Thomas, Parkside High School, first-year player, as the trainer's coming out to take a look at her. So, yeah, we missed it as the ball was kind of going the other way, but so we didn't see exactly what the injury was. And now the teams are going to head to their respective benches for a water break on this warm Saturday afternoon here in early October, as the bees surround us here in the broadcast position.
Just debating whether we should do one or two.
So it's 1-0. St. Clair leads it. We're in the 57th minute. A little bit of an injury water break here. They're going to have a substitute. Looks like Mohawk's going to be substituting as well. So we're going to see multiple substitutions here from both sides. Again, we're watching Scotty Fick. Scotty Fick, 4-0-2, only 2 goals against in her 6 matches. 28 saves coming into this one. She was first in the OCAA in goals against, a 0.33 goals against average, and she was third in save percentage with a 933 save percentage coming in this one. And the other story we're watching is Victoria Walsh, Vicky Walsh, 6 goals and an assist this year. She's 1 goal away from tying the St. Clair Saints goal record set by Misty Finley back in the late 90s. Finley had 27 goals in 3 seasons as the injured player makes it back up to her feet. And gets a hand from the crowd. Finley, in the 3 years she played, led the league in scoring all 3 years she played. And all sorts of accolades for her. A member of the OCAA Women's Soccer All-Millennium Team. An All-Star in 99, an OCAA bronze medal. As now a couple of the players are going to kind of, and that is Peyton Lassard, who's down. So we'll see who comes in on the back ends defensively. Lily Collins is out today with injury. So we'll see who steps up defensively. They should have Addison Bremner back there. McKenna Comartin. Or you could see someone like Jessica Dahl step back defensively. As Dahl is actually listed on the roster sheet as a defender, but we usually see her up front more than not. So it looks like all the substitutions are in. We're going to get things going again here. We're in the second half. Saints lead by 1. It's going to be a throw-in on the near side for Mohawk. The referee blows it back into play. There's a throw-in, kind of misses her mark, but it gets a nice hop. And the Saints kick it outside, and that's going to be another throw-in for Mohawk, but the Saints are able to, again, regroup defensively and set up. Mohawk only has 4 shots today. 3 of them were on net, and Scotty Fick has been up to the challenge. And then we also have the men's game to follow. About 20 minutes or so after this women's game is over, the Mohawks men's team they're already here warming up. They're getting ready now underneath the stadium in the dressing room. They'll be taking on the St. Clair men's soccer team, who's been off to a great start, 4-2-1 this year, 3-game winning streak. New head coach Gianni Ferry doing a great job with his squad. Delapo sends it far side. Lots of space over there for the Saints. And you can see Burrell sprinting up the left side. Up to Vicky Walsh. Walsh can't catch up to that one, however. And that's going to be a throw-in deep in Mohawk's area. So kind of a slow back and forth start to this second half. As we're approaching an hour played in this one. We'll still have about a half an hour to go, plus a little bit of added time. Mohawk trying to get it out, but Tails is there, steals it away. Tails puts a right boot on it, just pushed away by the keeper, and that's going to cross the line. That's going to be another corner for the Saints, as Ferrero is unable to corral that shot from Tails. And that's going to lead to another corner from Lapos. Lapos definitely getting her steps in today, heading to the corner. So you can see the Saints from the top of the penalty area heading towards the net. Oh, that's a really high ball. Got a piece of the crossbar, and someone got a head on it, but it goes over the net. So Lapos has really been trying to work, it looks like, that far bar, the far post on those corner kicks. So far, the Saints have been unable to have any success on those corners. That one's stolen away quickly by the Saints on the outlet pass from the keeper. A little bit of trouble now. The keeper has to kick it away. All sorts of trouble. The Mohawk player goes down. Still with control. Vicky Walsh pushes it into Tails. Tails is down. That one's in the back of the net. She scores! Lily Jazz! Mohawk scrambling, unable to control the ball. A scramble in the goal mouth, and it looked like number 20, Lily Jazz, comes away with it. If so, that would be her third goal of the year in the 62nd minute. So it looks like it's going to be number 20 on the replay. As you see, lots of scrambling. A couple of balls on net, couple Mohawk players go down.
Scored by number 15. Nope. By number 20.
So it is number 20, Lily Jazz, with the goal. Jazz, 5'9", out of Windsor. FJ Brennan in her third year. Olivito almost got credit for it, but they caught themselves in the booth. Liberty up to Tails. Tries to send in Jazz again. So a second goal here for the Saints. And this one's going to be tough, I believe, for Mohawk to come back from. Again, not a big score, high-scoring team. Only 9 goals for this season. At 1.13 goals for per match this year. They had been only giving up 2 goals a match, but they've already given up 2 to the Saints. This ball's booted away, but stolen by the Saints. Olivito sends it all the way back to Kinsley Clough. And Burrell now as they regroup. Pushes it in. That's Lapos. Now Walsh. Walsh trying to chase it down the corner. She's able to outrun the ball. One-on-one in the corner. Crossing ball from Walsh. Scooped up right into the midsection of the keeper. And the Saints, if you look at the board, already up all of a sudden. 17 shots put up on the board. Coming into this match, 18.6 per game. Little pass to the outside. That's Henriquez. Henriquez can't handle. Fick's going to have to come out of her, off her goal line and handle that one. Pushes it back out to Dahl. Near side to Liberty. Liberty's got some space. Tries to roll one up. Constantin. Costantin crossing ball towards the keeper. Short side misses. So the Saints seem to be applying pressure at will right now. As Mohawk just might not have the offensive firepower to come back down 2 against the St. Clair Saints. Nice little header forward by Mohawk, but stolen away quickly by Burrell. Burrell sends it. Little touch from, that was Tails trying to send Walsh out to the outside, unable to do so. There's Jazz, the goal scorer, back in the 62nd minute. So the 2nd and 62nd minute, the Saints have scored. Touch to the outside. Left boot centering ball, no Saints there. There's a race for it. Mohawk has it. But again, Olivito in the passing lanes, able to take it away. Touch to Jazz. Jazz tried to send in Constantin in. Nice give and go between Lapos and Olivito. Olivito's got some space. She's going to line a left boot up. Short side. It looks like the keeper might have got a hand on it. And that's going to end up a corner. So a nice left boot off the weak side foot. And the Saints are able to earn a corner off of that as the goalie keeper had to play it and pushed it past the line. Looks like they're doing a quick hitter right to Vicky Walsh as Mohawk's not really ready for it. There's Vicky. Walsh one-on-one. Gives it up to Lapos. Lapos sends one in. And the keeper is able to come and scoop it up quickly. Nice idea from Lapos and Walsh to play a quick two-man game on the far side. Oh, there's a drop kick to nobody on the near side. So quickly the Saints have it. So Ferreira, a little mistake by the Saints that time, and we have a substitution coming on the far side. So Ferreira having a little bit trouble with the drop kick. Again, this is the most minutes we've seen the first-year player play. Coming into this one on the stat sheet, she only had one save made, no goals against, so not a lot of minutes played. That's number 14 going off, Rachel Gudemi. Can't see the number there. Looks like it might be number 9 coming in. That's Glassbergen now coming in. That throws over Rodriguez's head, back to the captain. The captain sends it back to Scotty Fick. Scotty Fick well out of her net. Oh, mistake by Fick. Kinsley Clough is there. Centering ball, Olivito. Mohawk still pressuring. Big right boot coming, short side. Oh, kicked away by the Saints. So a mistake by Scotty Fick, the first mistake we've seen her make. And it almost cost the Saints a goal. She gets bailed out by her back line. And you can see after that turnover, there's a big scramble. And they do get a shot on net, but defended nicely by a foot of the Saints defender. As you see, as a throw-in, you see the Mohawk team marching down the field to get their warm-ups underway into the end zone of the Acumen Stadium. Big right boot right towards Fick, a two-hopper, and she's able to handle that with ease. So Mohawk trying to give up one last run here. They're down 2-0. Haven't given up much of a fight here, but now they've been pressuring here in the last couple minutes. Nice ball sent in to Liberty. Liberty's down. Tails is in. The goalkeeper coming out, and Tails goes down. Ball still loose. Tails trying to look for space. Back to Jazz. Jazz sends it in. Vicky Walsh trying to fight her way in. Here comes Tails. Left boot far side. Just misses. Looks like the offside flag was up nonetheless on the near side. That one wouldn't have counted even if it got past Ferreira. '69th minute here. St. Clair leads 2-0 against the Mohawk Mountaineers in women's OCAA soccer action. The final weekend game for the Saints. They have another match next Thursday here at Acumen. That'll finish up their regular season. Big ball in. That goes over everyone's head. And Kinsley Clough throws it back to Scotty Fick. Fick a little bit more careful this time with it. They try and send a ball into Jazz. It gets stolen. Nice play by Dahl. And there's Dahl. She is kind of playing that back line now with the injury to Lassard. Mohawk has it. That's Schwartz. Schwartz slowly bringing it up. Tries a little entry pass. But Dahl is going to beat the Mohawk player to that one. But Mohawk retains. And that one gets pushed away. It almost looks like Mohawk's running out a little bit of gas here. As it seems like a lot of the 50-50 balls seem to be going to the Saints. As Tails chases down Sylvia Sokaz. Nice little step around by the defender. That's Droppert. She's had a strong match on the back line for Mohawk. Dahl just pushes it to the side. Shoved from behind is Walsh, but watch the speed of Walsh. She's got Tails with her. Walsh, tried to send Tails in. And again, you see Coach Steve Vanini encouraging his team. as it looks like now we might get that official water break, as there is a player down on the far side. But it looks like she's might be just out of breath and just regrouping on the far side. So we got a little break in the action. We're in the 71st minute. The St. Clair Saints lead 2-0. And you can see the shots 18-5 in favor of the Saints. 6 saves for Ferreira, 4 for Scotty Fick. But the Saints lead where it counts, 2-0. St. Clair is 4-0-3 this season, sitting with 15 points. They trail Niagara by 2 points. So if you recall way back in that first match of the year where the Saints kind of gifted Humber a tie, the Saints almost had the 3 points but ended up with only the 1. Then they would have been tied. They tied Niagara this season, 1-1 in their only matchup of the year. But St. Clair's going to need some help, someone to knock off Niagara in their last 3 matches of the season. One of them I know is Lambton, so that's not going to happen. I think Mohawk has a game against Niagara, and Mohawk has if they can get a goal or two, has a chance to give Niagara a battle. So it looks like it's going to be a throw in front of the St. Clair bench. Throw into the Saints. And a quick whistle, foul against the Saints. Mohawk puts it in play quickly, and they try and get it out of their area, midfield. And that one goes past everyone, but the Saints have it. That's Dahl playing in the back line now after the injury to Lassard. Kicks it near side, Liberty. She's got some space. Nice little heel pass from Tails, and a give and go. Tails tries to run, but too far on the pass from Oliveto. And they go all the way back to the keeper, close to the end line. And that one, again, kicked to nobody. Throw in. So the keeper having a little bit of trouble with her outlet passes. And now we're going to have a substitution on the far side. That looks like number 3 going off. That's Luna Leo. And it looks like Hannah Kelly going to make her way back onto the pitch. They're going to need some offense from Kelly. She leads their team in goals this year. Dahl ready for the throw. That gets headed immediately past the boundary line. The throw-in was intended for Costanton. Crossing ball from Dahl into the area. Big boot over everything. Again, through the uprights is Oliveto. Another substitution coming for the Saints now. That looks like Tails is going to come off the pitch. We'll see who comes on for her. So the Saints lead this one 2-0. My name is Dan Dominguez. Thanks for joining us here at Acumen Stadium on the campus of St. Clair College, OCAA Women's Soccer. There's a little bit better pass, but it's almost stolen by the Saints. Right in front of us, and that's going to be a throw-in. Looks like in favor of the Saints, and it is. Dahl's there. So Mohawk having trouble getting it out of their own end. Throw-in just barely touched by Jazz. Heads it forward. And this one's up to the captain, Kinsley Clough. Knees it. But Mohawk comes away with it. Rodriguez and Kelly. Rodriguez tries to send it in, but Lapos gets in the way. The far side, Droppert. Droppert's finally going to pinch off her back line. Sends it into Beckles. Kicked away nicely by Leah Burrell, and the Saints are going to be able to regroup defensively. Headed into the area. So Mohawk pressuring. They got some space, but kicked away nicely by the Saints. Walsh looks like it's taken down to the turf. Well, actually, that's not Walsh. Walsh is on the near side. That was 11. Costanton. That was 23 that came in. That's the first we've seen of Maddie Dabus. Let's see what the Saints can do here. Walsh is in the center, looking for a cross. They send it towards her. Can't get past the defender. Oh, they tried to get another one into Walsh. And Mohawk's able to escape midfield. Rodriguez. Far crossing ball. But the Saints are able to chip it away nicely. They're looking for Beckles on the far side. Unable to do so. They're trying to send Vicky Walsh in. That's headed away nicely, but that's not going to reach the sideline, I don't think. It's going to be close. It just does cross the boundary line, but that's going to be a throw-in for Mohawk. So we got about a quarter of an hour to go here in this first matchup of the day. We're going to have OCAA men's soccer to follow about 20 minutes after this one's over. Good matchup between two good teams on the men's side. 7 points for Mohawk this year. 13 for the St. Clair men's team. Mohawk trying to find an opening, but there's a quick turnover. They got some numbers, the Saints do. Trying to send it in the Walsh. Walsh has a step. Oh, tries to step around the defender. And just a step away from making this one a 3-0. Tried that entry pass right down the middle of the pitch. Walsh tries to step through the defender and just unable to catch up to it. And there goes Lapos back out to the corner. There's a lot of Saints grouped at the top of the penalty area. The Saints sprint towards, try to cause some traffic in front. Oh, just almost Oliveto. Looks like she almost got a foot on that one. Can't believe she missed it. As she kind of holds her head after that one. Looked like she was right on the doorstep, but unable to get a boot on it. So time's starting to tick down. Mohawk running out of time here if they want to try and get back into this match. They trail 2-0. There's a big boot near side, and that's to nobody. She's having a little trouble with that wind or something off the side of her foot because she keeps sending those entry passes, and they're resulting in turnovers immediately. There's Dabus. Dabus showing some energy. She hasn't been on the pitch much in this one. So fresh legs for the Saints. Into Oliveto. Looks like someone for the Saints is getting up slowly. That could be Jazz. Liberty has it. Liberty tries to step around. Short side. The keeper has it. And you see Liberty on the near side with the headband. She has a goal this year. 5-2 out at Tecumseh. She's a St. Anne's product. High bouncing ball off the turf here at Acumen. Midfield, two Saints defend. Rodriguez has it, kind of her back to the offense, trying to be that setup person for them, as she has 3 assists this year. Oliveto sends one out far side. You get to hear Dabus yell for it. Lapo sends it all the way back. Burrell to the middle to Jazz. A little touch to the outside. That's Liberty. Liberty one-on-one. Tries to find a spot. Line drive shot. The keeper's able to come out and fall on top of it. So the Saints are starting to pile up some numbers as we see the Saints men's team making their way onto the pitch now as they're getting closer to their matchup against the Mohawk men's team. They're led by Gianni Ferry in his first year as the bench boss for the Saints. Second year as a Saints coach. First as the head coach. There's the Saints have it again. Trying to play a little give and go. Oliveto and Walsh were there, unable to do so. Rodriguez, nice footwork in the center. Able to get the ball out to Glassbergen, but Oliveto is there. We're approaching just over 10 minutes to go in this match, plus maybe a couple minutes of added time. Oliveto sends it outside. Left centering boot. That's a nice shot. Oh, it hits the corner and then it scores! Beautiful goal out of nowhere. That looks like Sierra Lapos. puts the left boot on it and just got over everyone and found the far corner of the post and bounced it in.
St. Clair goal.
In the 80th minute,
Scored by number 4, Sierra Lapos.
Lapos just decided to send a crossing pass in, gets over everyone's head, hits that far post, and goes in. And Lapos gets her second goal of the season. And this one is pretty much over at 3-0 Saints. I'm not even sure if she was expecting a goal in that one. She was just looking for a crossing pass, kind of sent one towards the goal. It got over everyone's head. And Lapos, we've seen her solid corner kicks today. And kind of a similar kick to a corner kick. She was able to find some area, and the Saints lead 3-0. There's Lapos again. Yelling for it is Dabos. Dabos is in. Dabos still on her feet. She's going to look to get around the defender. Just runs out of room. Just tries to muscle her off. A couple of shoving. That's Lapos and Droppert shoving a little bit on the pitch. So the keeper has it on the goal kick. So we got, looks like a substitution now. That looks like Liberty coming off. And we have a substitution near side. I think that's Bremner. Yeah, it is. Addison Bremner getting some work now. The 5-foot defender out of St. Catharines. St. Jean de Brebeuf. Yeah. Mohawk has it. Tries to send it up the middle. Dahl, first person there, so she's able to take it away. We're in the just approaching the 83rd minute now. The Saints are up to 20 shots today. And this one's all but over. Now I guess it's just a matter to see if Vicky Walsh can tie that St. Clair goal record. It's going to be a throw-in on the far side for Mohawk. 6 saves for the Mohawk keeper, Ferreira. She's let 3 get by. Scotty Fick has 4 saves, still dealing with a clean sheet. Mohawk has it far side. That's 13 Calix. Calix sends it up, and the Saints take it away. Here come the Saints again. To Lapos. Someone calling for a far side is Bremner. Bremner was all sorts of space. She's in. She's offside, though. Bremner had eyes of that first OCAA goal, but just offside. And you see Bremner, if you can see her, sneaking in on the bottom of your screen and just gets ahead of the defender, and an easy offside flag goes up against the Saints. Bremner, a rookie defender, so not a lot of opportunities to score. Took a chance there when she had some open space. Rodriguez gets the ball taken away by Jazz. The Saints' defense has been just on task today. Not a lot of chances. 3 come to mind, and 1 was on a mistake. Here's Bremner. Oh, she was looking for a give and go. Here comes Mohawk. Midfield tries to set a centering ball, but nobody there for the Mountaineers. As they send it near side to Bremner. Bremner to the middle. She wants it back, and there she is. She's got it. She's got Walsh with her. Walsh points where she wants it, but just couldn't get it there. But that'd still be a throw-in for the Saints. So Vicky Walsh working with the rookie on the near side. So Walsh is going to take the throw-in. Oh, there's Candace Ingram. I didn't see her substitute on. This is the first we've seen of number 27, Ingram. Ingram's 5'5" out of Windsor. St. Joe's. There's a shot for the Saints. That goes over everybody. That's going to be a goal kick. We're in the 85th minute. Just over 5 minutes to go, plus probably a couple minutes of added time here. The Saints in command here, 3-0. Waiting for the goal kick. This time the keeper just elects to do a short one. Battle on the near side. This one's finally kicked away by Mohawk. Mohawk tries to get something going, but the defenders for the Saints have been there all day long. And when they haven't, Scotty Fick has been the last line of defense. And that's why the Mohawk Mountaineers still sit at 0. Throw in into Gudemi. Gudemi's trying to control off the chest. She does so. Gudemi gets shoved down by Olivito, and she screams to the official. No call. Sends it out far side to Lapos. Lapos into Ingram. Ingram's got some space if she can chase this one down. She does. She's got Walsh in the center. Left boot to Walsh. Walsh tips it home. She scores! A beautiful pass by Ingram. Walsh taps it home. Vicky Walsh, her 7th goal of the season. Her 27th of her OCAA career, and now ties the St. Clair record in career goals in the 87th minute. A beautiful pass by Ingram, and just an easily tip home to the corner, and Walsh puts it away. Number 7 of the year. Walsh came into the season 6th in the OCAA in goals with those 6, so that'll help her up the ladder for goal scorers in the regular season. But we've been waiting all day for that tire from Walsh, and there it is with only a handful of minutes to go here. And she's able to do it at home. Ties the record of Misty Finley for all-time Saints goals for women's soccer. I don't have the men's record, so there's a chance that could be just a soccer record, period. Here come the Saints again. That's Dabus. And this time Ingram goes to the middle. And that ball gets pushed away. That's going to be a throw-in, and the Saints are going to have it. So, yeah, in her first 3 seasons, Victoria Walsh put up 10 goals in each of her first 2 seasons. And now in the team's 8th match of this season, she missed one due to a red card early in the season. There's another one. Bremner's in there. The keeper's able to scoop it off a bounce. But Walsh has 7 this year, 27 career goals. Stolen away by the Saints. Saints lead this one 4-0. They put up 22 shots. There's Ingram. Ingram tries to touch it in the Walsh. We almost had a chance to see history there for Saints soccer. Olivito gives a little shove to the backside. Referee standing right there and catching Olivito. So Mohawk, they got down early back in the 2nd minute. Olivito put one in the back of the net, and it didn't feel like it was over then, but really Mohawk didn't put up much of a fight after that one. They had a couple of chances, but Scotty Fick's been strong. And I guess that's the only question now. Scotty Fick, I'm sure the defense wants to keep that clean sheet for her. So is Olivito back in the 2nd minute. This one's back to Fick. A little dangerous soft pass to Kinsley Clough. Jazz back in the 62nd minute. Lapos in the 80th. And Walsh in the 87th minute. And that's where we stand here. 4-0. The St. Clair Saints look to be going 5-0-3 on the season. They'll be up to 18 points, temporarily passing Niagara. We'll have to wait to see Niagara's result as they have 3 matches still to play. They're going to be tough to catch this year. There's a ball on the near side. That one just outruns her. Kind of gets on that turf and took off on Bremner. So running quickly for it. Mohawk not giving up, trying to get that 1 goal. Try and end this day on a positive somehow. Olivito doing a nice job defensively. There was a foul. Looks like someone looked like a grab by one of the Mohawk players. 14 not happy. That's Gudemi. We've seen her a couple of times kind of barking at the official. Tough dealing with the physicality of Alicia Olivito. So Dahl's going to put it into play. Dangerous pass, and there's the buzzer as we've reached the 90th minute. Now we're in that added time. Probably going to be only a minute or two. They're not going to add a ton of time here, especially in a 4-0 game. They had the water break and a couple of brief injuries. So a throw in from Mohawk. There's Bremner. She's been strong in her few minutes that she's played. Nice little footwork there. The small defender, but she likes to get up into the action. Left boot from Mohawk towards Rodriguez, but 3 white shirts are there for the Saints. Ingram's going to try and chase this one down. Ingram can't get her way past the defender. And that's going to be, look like there was a foul against the Saints. They might have got Ingram on a push right before that, trying to clear herself some room. So we're a minute into added time here. Saints lead 4-0. The last moments of this one. Mohawk trying to get one last rush, but doesn't look like they're going to get on the board here today. Scotty Fick looking for a shutout. Nice little step around. That's number 5. Wait, that's McKenna Comartin. Wait, first we've seen of her. 5'5", out of Assumption. Windsor, Ontario native. Good to see another rookie out there for Coach Vanini. And just the final moments of this one, Olivito. The Saints just playing some keep away now. That's Dahl, and there's your final whistle. As we played a couple minutes of added time, the Saints have done it. Olivito, Jazz, Lapos, and Walsh with their record-tying goal. The Saints win 4-0 against the Mohawk Mountaineers. My name is Dan Dominguez. Thanks for joining us. Remember, don't go away too far. We're going to have Game 2, the men's game, coming up in about 20 minutes. You're watching on We Digital. We'll see you then.